His voice cut through the smoke like a guillotine blade. I don't want her. Raphael Corsini didn't even look at me when he said it, just stared at the amber liquid in his glass, swirling it slowly, like I was nothing, less than nothing. I stood there with my hands bound behind my back, rope burning into my wrists. Blood dripped from my split lip onto the marble floor, each drop echoing in the silence. His men had dragged me through the rain, thrown me at his feet like a stray dog. But God help me, I felt it the moment I saw him. That pull, forbidden, electric, dangerous, like touching a live wire in complete darkness. The room pressed in from all sides, guns holstered but visible, shadows of enforcers lining the walls, faces hard as granite. Raphael sat at the head of a long table, fingers steepled, eyes black as a starless night. He didn't need to raise his voice. The room obeyed his silence. I shouldn't have been there. Kidnapped from my father's safe house 3 hours ago, blindfolded, shoved into a car that smelled like leather and gunpowder. Marco Esposito's hand had covered my mouth the entire drive, his breath hot against my ear. Don't scream! Boss's orders! Now here I was, in the den of the most dangerous man in the city, and my pulse was racing for all the wrong reasons. Raphael finally glanced my way, not with interest, with dismissal. But I saw it, that flicker beneath the cold control, something raw, something hungry. Vincenzo thinks his daughter settles a $2 million debt? His voice was silk wrapped around steel. Tell me, does he think I'm desperate or stupid? One of his men shifted. Boss, she's untouched, virgin, 23 years old, clean. I can buy 100 virgins. Raphael stood, and the room seemed to shrink. 6'3" of tailored violence. His suit was dark as sin, cut to emphasize shoulders built for breaking bones. Send her back. Wait. The word left my mouth before I could stop it. His eyes locked on mine. Everyone went still. I shouldn't have spoken. I knew the rules of this world. My father had drilled them into me since childhood. Women didn't speak unless spoken to. Daughters were currency, not people. But something in his dismissal sparked a fire in my chest. My father didn't send me. My voice shook, but I held his gaze. Your men took me. I woke up to hands over my mouth. I didn't choose this. Raphael moved closer, predator assessing prey. He circled behind me, and I felt his presence like heat against my spine. Then you're even more worthless than I thought. His breath ghosted across my neck. A gift I didn't request, a debt I didn't acknowledge. I shivered, not from fear alone. He came around to face me, so close I could smell his cologne, bergamot and smoke and something darker. His finger hooked under my chin, tilting my face up, forcing me to meet those deadly eyes. You look at me like you see something worth saving, he murmured. Intimate, dangerous. That makes you either brave or foolish. I should have spit in his face. Instead, my lips parted. My body leaned forward, crossing an invisible line. His thumb brushed my bloody lip, not harsh, almost gentle. The power shifted between us. For one heartbeat, I held it. My breath became his. Then he pulled away, cold mask sliding back into place. Take her upstairs, the east wing, lock it. They took me to a room that was equal parts luxury and prison. Velvet curtains the color of dried blood, a king bed with silk sheets, antique furniture worth more than my father's house, but bars on the windows, a lock that clicked from the outside. I paced until my legs ached. Why didn't he kill me? Or send me back? That moment lingered on my skin, his touch a brand I couldn't wash off. I pressed my fingers to my swollen lip, tasting salt and copper and him. My phone was gone. My shoes were gone. I was wearing the same clothes from when they took me, a simple dress now torn and filthy. I collapsed on the bed as the tears finally came. My father had done this. Vincenzo Rossi, the man who raised me, who taught me to shoot, who promised to protect me. He'd sold me, offered me up like a business transaction. The wound in my chest ripped wider. My mother died when I was 12. Cancer, they said. But I'd heard the whispers, poison, a rival family settling scores. That loss had carved a hole in me that never healed. It taught me that love in this world was a weapon, and everyone eventually betrayed you. Now my father had proved it. Hours blurred together. I watched the sun set through the barred window, painting the sky in shades of violence, red, orange, bruised purple. At midnight, the lock turned. Raphael entered alone. No guards. He carried a tray, wine, bandages, a clean towel. "Clean yourself up." He set the tray on the side table, controlled as ever. But his eyes betrayed something else. Hunger, curiosity. He was feared by everyone. I knew his reputation. He'd built an empire on drugs, guns, and blood. Men twice his age trembled when he walked into a room. He'd killed his first man at 16, took over the Corsini family at 25 when his father was assassinated. Now, at 31, he was untouchable. Yet here, in the dim light of this prison bedroom, he seemed almost human. Personally dangerous. Yes, to my heart, because part of me wanted to unravel him. He sat on the edge of the bed, poured 2 glasses of wine, handed me one. Our fingers brushed. Another spark. "Drink." I did. The liquid burned down my throat, warming my empty stomach. Silence stretched between us, hypnotic. "Your father thinks this settles his debt," Raphael said quietly. "It doesn't. But it does create a problem." "What problem?" "You." He leaned back, studying me. "I don't make a habit of keeping unwilling women, but I can't send you back now. Not after my men took you. It would make me look weak." "So what am I? A prisoner? A complication?" I set down the glass, emboldened by the wine and the exhaustion and the sheer insanity of my situation. "You said you don't want me." He stood, moving to the window. His reflection in the glass was all sharp angles and shadows. "I don't." "Liar." He turned slowly, dangerously. I rose from the bed, legs shaking but voice steady. "I felt it. When you touched my face. When you looked at me. You felt it too." "Felt what?" "This." I closed the distance between us, reckless and raw. Whatever this is. He didn't move, didn't breathe. I reached up, fingers trembling, and touched the scar on his jaw, a thin white line from a knife fight years ago. "Let me in," I whispered. He grabbed my wrist, hard. His other hand fisted in my hair, pulling my head back. His face was inches from mine, eyes blazing. "You don't know what you're asking." "Then show me." He kissed me, fierce, consuming, dangerous. His mouth claimed mine like he was starving, like I was air and he'd been drowning. I kissed him back just as desperately, months of loneliness and fear pouring out. His hands moved to my waist, pulling me flush against him. I felt every hard plane of his body, the weapon holstered at his hip, the racing of his heart. My nails dug into his shoulders. His teeth caught my bottom lip. The world narrowed to just this, his taste, his heat, the way he groaned when I pressed closer. Then he shoved me away. We stood there, both breathing hard. His control had cracked, just for a moment, and I'd seen the man beneath the monster. "This changes nothing," he said roughly, but it did. Everything had changed. He left without another word, locking the door behind him. I sank to the floor, body aching, mind reeling. What game was he playing? Why did he kiss me like that, then walk away? And why did I already crave more? If you're already hooked by the darkness, the danger, the forbidden attraction, please subscribe so my stories can reach other people, and let's keep the darkness coming. Morning came with harsh sunlight and a pounding headache. A woman in a severe black dress brought me breakfast, coffee, pastries, fresh fruit. She said nothing, just set the tray down and left. The lock clicked behind her. I ate mechanically, mind spinning. Last night felt like a fever dream. That kiss. The way Raphael had touched me like he was fighting himself. The hunger in his eyes before he shut it down. I was his prisoner, but I wasn't afraid. Not of him. That should have terrified me more than anything. Around noon, Marco Esposito came. Big, brutal, with dead eyes. "Boss wants to see you. Downstairs. 5 minutes." He threw clothes at me. A simple black dress, undergarments, shoes that actually fit. "How did you—" "Boss knows everything. Get dressed." When Marco unlocked the door, he had 2 other men with him. They escorted me down a marble staircase, through hallways lined with artwork worth millions. The house was a fortress. Cameras everywhere, men stationed at every corner. We entered a study that smelled like leather and old books. Raphael sat behind a massive desk, signing documents. He didn't look up. "Leave us," he said. Marco hesitated. "Boss, out." They left. The door closed. Silence. I stood there, dress clinging to my skin, heart hammering. Finally, Raphael set down his pen. His eyes raked over me, not with lust, but with calculation. "Sit." I sat in the chair across from him, spine straight. "I had you investigated last night," he said casually. "Elena Rossi, 23, studied literature at university, but dropped out after 2 years, no job, no friends. You've been living in your father's safe house for 8 months, barely leaving." My stomach dropped. He knew everything. "Your mother was Lucia Moretti before she married Vincenzo." He opened a file on his desk. "She died 11 years ago, pancreatic cancer, officially, but there were rumors." "What rumors?" My voice came out hoarse. "That she was poisoned, that your father had debts to the Lombardi family, and they wanted insurance." The room tilted. "You're lying." "I'm not." His gaze was steady, almost gentle. "Your father has been a problem for a long time, Elena. Bad bets, failed jobs. He owes money to 3 different families. He's barely useful as an enforcer anymore. Sending you to me was his last desperate move." Tears burned behind my eyes, but I refused to let them fall. "Why are you telling me this?" "Because I'm going to make you an offer." He leaned forward, elbows on the desk. "And I want you to understand exactly what you're agreeing to." "I'm not agreeing to anything." "You will." The certainty in his voice made my skin prickle. "Your father's debt is $2 million. He has no way to pay it. In 2 weeks, the Lombardi family will come for him. They'll torture him first, make an example. Then they'll come for you." "How do you know that?" "Because Gianni Lombardi told me himself, yesterday." Raphael pulled out his phone, scrolled, then turned it to face me. A text message. "Heard you got Rossi's daughter. When you're done with her, send her my way. I'll finish what we started with her mother." Ice flooded my veins. "He killed her," I whispered. "Gianni killed my mother." "Yes." "And my father knew." "Yes." The world cracked open beneath me. Everything I'd believed, every memory, every moment of my childhood was a lie. My father hadn't protected me. He'd fed me to wolves. "Here's my offer." Raphael's voice cut through the spiral. "You stay with me. Publicly. You become mine. My woman. My companion. You attend events with me. You live in this house. In return, I pay your father's debt and put you under my protection. Gianni can't touch you." "Why?" I looked up at him, vision blurring. Why would you do that? Because you interest me. Simple, direct. And because having Vincenzo Rossi's daughter on my arm sends a message, I don't just take what I want, I take what others think they can bargain with. So I'm a trophy. You're an asset. He stood, coming around the desk. But that kiss last night told me you could be more. He crouched in front of me, eye level, close enough that I could see gold flecks in his dark irises. I won't force you. If you say no, I'll send you somewhere safe. Out of the country, new identity, enough money to start over. But your father dies, and you'll spend the rest of your life looking over your shoulder, wondering if Gianni found you. His hand came up, cupping my face, thumb stroking my cheekbone. Or you stay. You're protected. You're provided for. And we see where this goes. This, whatever it is that makes you brave enough to touch my scars. My breath caught. This was insane. He was a killer, a criminal, everything I should run from. But where would I run to? My father had sold me. My mother was murdered. I had no one. And God help me. When Raphael touched me, I felt alive for the first time in years. If I stay, I said slowly, I'm not just some decoration. I won't be paraded around and ignored. His lips curved, almost a smile. What do you want? Answers. About my mother. About why my father really sent me. Done. And freedom. Not locked in a room. You'll have guards, but you can move through the house, the grounds. And you? I held his gaze, reckless. If I'm yours, then you're mine. I don't share. Something dark flashed in his eyes. Possession. Approval. I don't share either, Elena. He leaned in, lips brushing my ear. If you agree to this, there's no going back. I don't do halfway. When I claim something, I keep it. My heart pounded so hard I thought it would burst. This was a cage, a beautiful, deadly cage, but it was the only option that kept me alive and gave me a chance to find the truth. I agree. He pulled back, studying my face, then nodded once. Marco, he called. The door opened immediately. Marco stepped in. Prepare the east wing. She stays. Full access to the house except my private office and the basement, guards at all times. Raphael stood, all business now. And get Vincenzo on the phone. Tell him the debt is settled. His daughter is mine now. Yes, boss. Marco left. I stood on shaking legs. What happens now? Now you learn what it means to be mine. He walked to a wall safe, spun the combination, and pulled out a small box. When he opened it, I saw a necklace, a delicate gold chain with a single pendant, the Corsini family crest. Every woman under my protection wears this. He moved behind me, fastening it around my neck. His fingers lingered on my skin, sending shivers down my spine. Anyone who sees this knows you're untouchable. The weight of it settled against my collarbone. There's a gala tomorrow night. Milano's elite, politicians, judges, businessmen, and families like mine. You'll attend with me. I don't have anything to wear. You do now. He gestured to the door. Second floor, the room next to yours. I had a stylist bring options. Choose whatever you want. I turned to face him. You planned this, before I even agreed. I knew you would agree. His hand settled on my hip, possessive. Because you're smart enough to know this is the only choice that keeps you alive. He was right. I hated that he was right. Go. Get used to your new home. He released me, already turning back to his desk. Dinner is at 8. Don't be late. I walked to the door, then paused. Raphael? He looked up. Thank you for telling me the truth about my mother. Something softened in his expression. Just for a second. Truth is a rare gift in this world, Elena. I won't lie to you, even when the truth is brutal. The room next to mine was full of dresses, shoes, jewelry, more wealth than I'd seen in my entire life. A young woman with kind eyes was waiting. "I'm Sophia. I'll help you prepare for tomorrow night." We spent the afternoon going through options. She measured me, took notes, asked about my preferences. It felt surreal, like playing dress-up in someone else's life. That evening, I found the dining room, a table set for two. Raphael was already seated, reading something on his phone. "Sit," he said without looking up. I sat. Plates appeared. Pasta, wine, salad, prepared by invisible hands. We ate in silence for a while. "Tell me about the gala," I finally said. He set down his fork. "It's an annual charity event. Cancer research. Very respectable on the surface. Underneath, it's where deals are made and alliances are formed. And you want me there because seeing me with you will raise questions, create curiosity, and curiosity is how I control narratives. So I'm part of the narrative. You're the narrative." He sipped his wine. "Tomorrow night, every person in that room will wonder who you are, why you matter to me, what you know." "What do I know?" His smile was sharp. "Nothing yet, but they don't know that." After dinner, he walked me back to my room, stood in the doorway, filling the frame. "Sleep well, Elena. Tomorrow you enter my world completely." "I'm already in it." "No." His eyes burned into mine. "Tomorrow, everyone else knows you're in it. That's when it becomes real." He left before I could respond. I lay in bed that night, the necklace heavy against my skin, and wondered what I'd really agreed to. But deep down, I knew. I'd sold my soul to the devil, and part of me wanted to see how far down he'd take me. Sophia arrived at 4 p.m. with a team. Hair, makeup, nails. They transformed me. The woman in the mirror was elegant, dangerous, beautiful, not the broken girl from my father's safe house. The dress was black silk that clung to every curve, slit high on one thigh. The necklace with Raphael's crest glittered at my throat. "You look perfect," Sophia breathed. I didn't feel perfect. I felt like a lamb dressed for slaughter. At 7, Marco knocked. "Boss is waiting." Raphael stood at the bottom of the stairs in a black tuxedo that should be illegal. His eyes tracked my descent, darkening with each step. When I reached him, he took my hand, kissed my knuckles. "You'll have every man in that room wanting you, and every woman wanting to be you." Is that the goal? The goal is making sure they all know you're mine. His hand slid to my lower back, possessive. "Stay close to me. Don't talk to anyone unless I approve it. And if anyone threatens you, you tell me immediately." Threatens me at a charity gala? This world doesn't take nights off, Elena. The car ride was silent. Tension filled the space between us. His hand stayed on my thigh the entire time, thumb stroking small circles through the silk. My body responded, heat pooling low in my stomach. This attraction was going to destroy me. The gala was at the Palazzo Reale. Marble columns, crystal chandeliers, champagne flowing like water, men in tuxedos, women dripping diamonds, old money and new danger mixing freely. Every eye turned when we entered. Raphael's hand tightened on my waist. Showtime. We moved through the crowd like royalty. People parted. Men nodded respectfully. Women smiled with envy and calculation. "Raphael!" A silver-haired man approached, hand extended. "Good to see you." "Senator Marino?" They shook hands. "This is Elena Rossi." The senator's eyes widened slightly. "Vincenzo's daughter?" "Mine now," Raphael said smoothly. "The debt is settled." Understanding flickered across Marino's face. "Of course." Lovely to meet you, my dear. I smiled, said nothing. This happened repeatedly. Introductions, subtle questions, Raphael's arm around me like a brand. Then I saw him, Johnny Lombardi, tall, handsome in a cruel way. He stood across the room with two men watching us. When our eyes met, he smiled. That smile promised violence. Raffaele, I whispered. I know. Stay calm. Gianni approached. Every muscle in my body tensed. Corsini. He nodded. Didn't expect to see you here with company. Johnny. Raffaele's voice was ice. Meet Elena, my Elena. Johnny's eyes raked over me, predatory. Vincenzo's girl. I heard rumors you'd taken her in. How generous. Generosity has nothing to do with it. No? Johnny stepped closer, too close. Then what? Love? Men like us don't love, Raffaele. We take, we use, we discard. Men like you, perhaps. Raffaele's hand moved to my hip, pulling me against him. But Elena isn't going anywhere. The air crackled with violence barely restrained. Her mother was beautiful too, Johnny said softly. Before she died, such a shame. Rage exploded in my chest. You killed her. His smile widened. Did I? Or did her husband's debts kill her? Perspective matters, Cara. Raphael moved between us, his body a wall. Walk away, Gianni, while you still can. For a long moment, they stared each other down, two predators sizing each other up. Finally, Gianni laughed. Enjoy her while she lasts, Corsini. We both know how these things end. He walked away. I was shaking. Raphael turned, cupping my face. Breathe. He admitted it. He killed my mother and I know. Breathe, Elena. I gulped air, vision swimming. Come. He led me through a side door into a quiet hallway, pressed me against the wall, his body shielding me from view. You did well, but you can't let him see you break. He murdered her. Yes, and one day I'll kill him for it. His thumb stroked my jaw. But not tonight. Tonight, we play the game. I hate this game. I know. He leaned in, forehead against mine. But you're stronger than you think. His lips found mine. Soft this time. Almost tender. I melted into him, needing the anchor. When he pulled back, his control had returned. Let's finish this. We returned to the gala, danced, smiled, played our parts perfectly. But something had shifted. Raphael kept me closer, more protective, his touch more frequent. And I realized this wasn't just strategy anymore. He was starting to care. Near midnight, we left. The car ride home was charged with unspoken words. When we reached his house, he walked me to my room, stopped at the door. You handled tonight well, he said. I wanted to kill him. So did I. His hand came up, tucking a strand of hair behind my ear. But patience is how we win. How long do I have to be patient? As long as it takes. I grabbed his jacket, pulled him closer. And what about this? How long do we pretend this is just strategy? His eyes darkened. Elena, you kissed me. In front of everyone, you claimed me. But here, in private, you act like I'm just another asset. You're not. Then what am I? He pushed into my room, kicking the door shut, backed me against the wall, caging me with his arms. You're the one thing I can't calculate, he growled. The variable I didn't plan for. You're in my head, under my skin, and I don't know what the fuck to do about it. Then stop fighting it. His mouth crashed into mine, desperate, consuming. His hands were everywhere, my hair, my waist, sliding up my thigh through the slit in my dress. I gasped when his fingers found bare skin. He groaned, deepening the kiss. We stumbled toward the bed. His jacket hit the floor. My hands fumbled with his shirt buttons. Then his phone rang. He froze, breathing hard. Looked at the screen. Fuck. He pulled away, running a hand through his hair. I have to take this. Raphael, I'm sorry. He kissed my forehead, then answered the phone as he left. Talk to me. The door closed. I stood there, dress half unzipped, lips swollen, body aching. What was I doing? Falling for a monster. And I didn't know how to stop. What would you do if you were in Elena's position, trapped between revenge and desire? Tell me in the comments. 3 days passed in a strange limbo. Raphael was different, attentive, but distant. He ate meals with me, showed me around his estate, explained his business in vague terms, but he didn't touch me again. It was torture. Every accidental brush of hands felt electric. Every look lasted a second too long. The tension built until I thought I'd combust. On the 4th day, Marco found me in the library. Boss wants you in his office. My heart jumped. Why? Didn't say. Raphael's office was on the 2nd floor, overlooking the gardens. When I entered, he was on the phone, speaking rapid Italian. He gestured for me to sit. I waited, studying him. The sharp line of his jaw, the way his shoulders filled his shirt, the darkness in his eyes that never quite faded. He hung up, turned to me. How do you feel about visiting your father? The question hit like a slap. What? Vincenzo requested to see you. Says he needs to explain. I don't want to see him. I know, but I think you should. I stood, anger flaring. Why? So he can lie to me more? Justify selling his daughter? Raphael came around the desk, catching my wrist. Because closure matters. And because you need to hear what he has to say about your mother. That stopped me. He'll tell me the truth? I've guaranteed his safety if he does. If he lies, Raphael's expression darkened. He won't like the consequences. 20 minutes later, we were in an armored car heading to a safe house across town. Marco drove. 2 more guards followed in a second vehicle. Why are you doing this? I asked quietly. Raphael's hand found mine. Because you deserve answers, and because I want you to trust me. I do trust you. The words surprised me, but they were true. His thumb stroked my knuckles. That's dangerous, Elena. Everything about you is dangerous. Yet you're still here. I don't have a choice. You always have a choice. He turned to face me. You could have said no, could have taken the new identity, but you stayed. Maybe I'm just as dangerous as you. His laugh was low, dark. Maybe you are. My father's safe house was a cramped apartment in a bad neighborhood, nothing like Raphael's mansion. Vincenzo sat at a small table, looking older than I remembered, grayer, broken. Elena, his voice cracked. I said nothing. Raphael stood behind me, silent support. I know you hate me, Vincenzo continued. I hate myself, but you need to understand. Understand what? My voice was cold. That you sold me to pay your debts? That you let my mother die? I didn't let her die. He slammed his hand on the table. I tried to save her. I begged them for more time, but Gianni... He broke off, tears streaming. Gianni wanted to make an example, to show what happens when you don't pay. So he poisoned her. Yes. Vincenzo's face crumpled. And I've lived with that guilt every day since. Not guilt enough to stop you from offering me up next. I thought Raffaele would protect you. He looked up at me, desperate. I knew what Johnny would do if I couldn't pay. He told me himself. He'd take you, hurt you, kill you slowly. At least with Raffaele, you'd be safe. I laughed bitterly. So I should thank you? No. You should hate me, but know that I did it because I had no other choice. I'm a coward and a failure, but I'm still your father, and I love you. Love? I tasted the word like poison. You don't know what that means. Raffaele's hand settled on my shoulder. Tell her about the locket. Vincenzo's eyes widened. How did you... Tell her. My father reached into his pocket, pulled out a tarnished silver locket. My mother's locket. The one I'd been searching for since she died. Your mother wanted you to have this, made me promise to give it to you on your 25th birthday. He opened it. Inside was a photo. Young Lucia, smiling, holding a baby. Me, and engraved on the inside, Corsini Legacy. My blood went cold. What does that mean? I whispered. Vincenzo looked at Raffaele, who nodded. Your mother wasn't just Lucia Moretti, Vincenzo said slowly. She was Lucia Corsini, Raffaele's father's younger sister, his aunt. The world stopped. What? Your family, Raffaele said quietly. Blood. I turned to him, vision blurring. You knew this whole time? I suspected, confirmed it 2 days ago. And you didn't tell me? I wanted you to hear it from him, to understand the full truth. I looked between them, mind reeling. So my mother was a Corsini, which means you're under family protection, Raffaele finished. Gianni touching you isn't just an insult, it's an act of war. Vincenzo nodded. That's why I sent you to him. I knew if Raffaele found out about the blood connection, he'd have to protect you. It's the law. The law, I repeated numbly. Mafia law, Raphael clarified. Family protects family, always. I sank into a chair, legs giving out. Everything I thought I knew was a lie. My mother wasn't just a woman who married the wrong man. She was mafia royalty, which made me... Why didn't she tell me? I looked at my father. She wanted you to have a normal life. She left the family when she met me, tried to escape. But you can't escape blood. No, Raphael agreed. You can't. The drive back was silent. My mind spun with revelations. I was Corsini blood, Raphael's cousin, technically, which meant our relationship. Say it, Raphael said suddenly. Say what? Whatever you're thinking. We're family, so this thing between us is wrong. Isn't it? He pulled the car over abruptly, turned to face me, eyes blazing. We're distant family, Elena. Your mother left the bloodline, and in our world, alliances through marriage between branches happen all the time. That's not... I don't care about propriety. He grabbed my face, fierce. I care about you. This pull between us, it existed before I knew about the blood. It doesn't change anything. It changes everything. Why? Because society says so? We live outside society's rules. His forehead pressed to mine. Tell me you don't feel this. Tell me you don't want me, and I'll never touch you again. I couldn't. God help me, I couldn't. I feel it, I whispered. Then that's all that matters. He kissed me there, on the side of the road, with Marco and the guards waiting in the other car. Kissed me until I forgot every reason this was wrong. When we got back to the mansion, everything had shifted. He took my hand, led me to his private wing, past the office I'd never been allowed in, through double doors into a bedroom that was all dark wood and masculine luxury. Stay with me tonight, he said. Not a command, a request. Just sleep. Just sleep. His smile was soft. I want you in my bed, Elena. Not for sex, just here. It was the most intimate thing he'd ever offered. I nodded. We undressed separately. He gave me one of his shirts to sleep in. It fell to mid-thigh, smelling like him. In his bed, he pulled me close, my back to his chest, his arm around my waist, his breath warm against my neck. Your mother was brave, he murmured in the darkness. Leaving the family took courage. She wanted better for you. She got me this instead. No, she got you me, and I'll protect you with my life. Why? I turned to face him. Why do you care so much? His hand came up, tracing my face. Because you see me, Elena. Not the boss, not the killer. Me. And because when I'm with you, I remember what it feels like to want something more than power. My heart cracked open. I'm falling for you, I admitted, and it terrifies me. Good. His lips brushed my forehead. Fear means you're alive, means this matters. I fell asleep in his arms, safer than I'd ever felt. And for the first time since my mother died, I let myself hope. I woke to morning light in an empty bed. Panic flared until I heard the shower running. Steam curled from the bathroom doorway. I lay there, tangled in his sheets, wearing his shirt. Everything smelled like him, like safety and danger mixed. The water shut off. A moment later, Raphael emerged with a towel around his hips, water dripping down his chest. My mouth went dry. He was beautiful in a brutal way, scars across his ribs, his abdomen, each one a story written in violence. His body was a weapon, honed and deadly. See something you like? His voice was amused. Maybe. He crossed to the bed, braced his hands on either side of me, caging me in. Sleep well? Better than I have in years. Good. He leaned down, kissed me slow and deep, tasting like mint. When he pulled back, his eyes were dark. I have meetings all day, but tonight we're going somewhere. Where? You'll see. He kissed me again, then forced himself away. Get dressed. Sophia will bring breakfast. Raffaele, he turned. Thank you. For last night. For everything. Something soft crossed his face. You don't need to thank me, Elena. You're mine to protect. After he left, I showered and dressed, found my way back to my room where Sophia waited with food and a knowing smile. You stayed in his room, she said. How did you? Everyone knows. The guard saw you go in, not come out. She set down the tray. He's never brought a woman to his private wing before, ever. What does that mean? It means you matter. Sophia touched my arm. Be careful with his heart, Elena. Under all that darkness, he's more fragile than people know. The words haunted me all day. That evening, Raphael took me to a club he owned downtown. Velvet ropes, pounding music, bodies pressed together in the darkness. We had a private booth overlooking the dance floor. He ordered champagne, kept his hand on my thigh the entire time. Why are we here? I asked over the music. Because I want to dance with you. He stood, offering his hand. And because I want everyone here to see that you're mine. On the dance floor, he pulled me close. We moved together, his hands on my hips, my arms around his neck. The bass pounded through my body, matching my heartbeat. He spun me around, pressed my back to his chest. His lips found my neck, kissing, teeth grazing. I arched into him, shameless. Everyone's watching, I breathed. Good. Let them watch. His hand slid up my stomach, between my breasts, fingers wrapping lightly around my throat. Not squeezing, just holding, claiming. I should have been terrified. Instead, I'd never felt more alive. We danced until we were both breathing hard, tension coiling tighter. Then he led me back to the booth, but instead of sitting across, he pulled me onto his lap. Raphael, I've been patient, he growled in my ear, trying to do the right thing, give you space, but I'm done being patient. His hand slid under my dress, fingers tracing up my inner thigh. I gasped, gripping his shoulders. Tell me to stop. His other hand tangled in my hair, pulling my head back. Tell me you don't want this. I can't. Then tell me what you do want. You. The word came out broken. All of you, he groaned, crashing his mouth to mine. The kiss was fire and desperation. His fingers moved higher, and I whimpered into his mouth. Not here, he rasped. I want you in my bed, properly, where I can take my time. We left in a blur. The car ride was agony, his hand never leaving my thigh, teasing, promising. At the mansion, he carried me straight to his room, kicked the door shut, laid me on his bed like something precious. Last chance to change your mind, he said, voice strained. I sat up, pulled my dress over my head, let it fall to the floor. His control shattered. He was on me in seconds, mouth, hands, everywhere. He worshipped every inch of skin, learning what made me gasp, what made me arch. When he finally moved over me, his eyes locked on mine. You're mine, Elena. Say it. I'm yours. And I'm yours. He pushed inside, slow and deep. Every dark piece of me. Yours. I cried out, nails digging into his back. He moved with controlled intensity, taking me apart piece by piece. Look at me, he commanded when my eyes fluttered closed. I want to see you fall apart. I looked, held his gaze as pleasure built, spiraling higher. His hand found mine, fingers lacing together, intimate and raw. Come for me, he whispered against my lips. I shattered. He followed, burying his face in my neck, my name a prayer on his lips. After, we lay tangled together, sweat-slicked and breathless. I started, then stopped. Never what? Never felt like this. Like I'd die if you let me go. His arms tightened around me. Then it's good. I'm never letting you go. We made love twice more that night. Slow, then desperate, then tender. Each time peeling back another layer. In the early morning hours, I traced the scars on his chest. Tell me about these. He was quiet a long moment. Then, that one, knife fight when I was 17. That one, bullet when I took over the family. That one, my father gave me the day he died. I kissed each scar. You've survived so much. So have you. He tilted my chin up. Your scars are just harder to see. Will you help me heal them? If you help me heal mine. It was a promise, a pact, sealed with a kiss that tasted like forever. The next morning, everything felt different, lighter. We had breakfast together. He showed me the parts of his business that were legitimate, real estate, investments. Let me see the man beneath the monster. I want you involved, he said over coffee. Not just as decoration, as a partner. In the legal stuff or the illegal stuff? Both, eventually, if you want. I considered. I want to help take down Gianni. His expression darkened. That's not. He killed my mother. I deserve to be part of his end. It's too dangerous. I'm already in danger just by being with you. I took his hand. Let me do this. Let me have justice. He studied me for a long moment, then nodded slowly. All right, but you follow my lead. You don't take risks. Understood? Understood. He pulled me into his lap. You're going to be the death of me, Elena Rossi. Corsini, I corrected. If I'm embracing the blood, I'm using the name. His smile was proud, possessive. Elena Corsini. I like the sound of that. So do I. He kissed me deep, and I knew, whatever came next, we'd face it together. Raphael kept his promise. Over the next week, he brought me into the inner circle. I attended meetings, learned names, territories, debts. The business was brutal, but logical. Everything had a price. Everyone had a weakness. Marco became my shadow and, surprisingly, my ally. You're good for him, he said one day. Boss is different when you're around, less cold. He's not cold, just careful. Same thing in our world. Raphael trusted me with more each day, showed me the ledgers, explained the balance of power, who could be bought, who needed to be eliminated. Johnny Lombardi's name came up constantly. "He's been moving against me," Raphael explained one night in his office. "Small things, intercepting shipments, bribing my men, testing boundaries. Why? Because he wants what I have, territory, power." His hand found mine. "You. He can't have me." "I know, but he'll try." Raphael pulled out a file. "I've been investigating your mother's death. There's more to it than simple revenge." He spread photos across the desk, my mother with various people. One caught my eye, Lucia with a young man, dark-haired, intense. "Who is that?" "My father. Your uncle, technically. Antonio Corsini." I studied the photo. They looked close, intimate almost. Were they lovers? No. But she knew his secrets, all of them. Raphael pulled out another document. "Before your mother left the family, she was Antonio's confidant. He told her about offshore accounts, hidden assets, deals that could destroy rival families. And I think Johnny killed her not just to punish your father, but to keep her quiet about something she knew, something that threatened him personally." My mind raced. What could she have known? "That's what we need to find out." He handed me a leather journal. "I found this in my father's safe. It's in code, but there are references to LM, Lucia Moretti. Read through it, see if anything stands out." I spent the next 3 days buried in that journal, late nights, coffee-fueled, deciphering Antonio's shorthand. Then I found it. A single entry dated 2 months before my mother's death. LM confirmed. GL embezzled $5 million from Corsini accounts. She has proof. Must protect her. "Raphael!" I ran to his office, nearly knocking over Marco. He looked up from his desk, alarmed. "What's wrong?" "Johnny embezzled from your father. $5 million. My mother had proof." His face went deadly calm. "Show me." I handed him the journal, pointing to the entry. He read it twice, jaw tightening. "That son of a bitch." He stood, pacing. My father died 6 months after this entry. Car accident, supposedly. But if Johnny was stealing from him, you think Johnny killed them both? I know he did. Raffaele's eyes blazed. And now I have a reason to end him that every family will support. Theft from a boss is a death sentence. So what do? We find the proof your mother had. Without it, it's just my word against his. He cupped my face. Can you think of anywhere she would have hidden something? Somewhere your father wouldn't look? I thought hard. Then it hit me. The summer house in Amalfi. We went there every year when I was young. She had a studio there for painting. Dad never went in, said it was her private space. Does it still exist? I think so. Dad never sold it. Raphael was already on his phone. Marco, prep the helicopter. We leave in an hour. The flight to Amalfi was beautiful. Coastlines sparkling beneath us, cliffs and blue water. But my stomach was in knots. What if I was wrong? What if there was nothing there? The house was smaller than I remembered, weathered by years of neglect, but the studio was intact, locked from the outside, dusty but preserved. Raphael broke the lock. We entered together. Paintings covered the walls. My mother's work, vibrant, alive. I traced my fingers over them, tears burning. She was talented, Raphael said softly. She was everything. We searched carefully, behind paintings, under floorboards, inside old art supply boxes. Nothing. I was about to give up when I noticed it, a painting of me as a child playing on the beach. Something about the frame looked off. I took it off the wall. The back had a hidden compartment. Inside was a USB drive and a letter. My hands shook as I opened the letter. My darling Elena, if you're reading this, then I'm gone, and you're old enough to understand. I'm sorry for leaving you. Sorry for the secrets, but I need you to know the truth. Gianni Lombardi stole from the Corsini family. I have proof on this drive. Bank records, transfers, everything. I gave copies to Antonio, but I kept this in case something happened to him. If you're reading this, something did happen. To both of us. Use this to protect yourself, to finish what we couldn't. I love you forever. Be brave, be strong, and trust Raphael. He's a good man, despite what the world thinks. Mama tears streamed down my face. Raphael read over my shoulder, his hand on my back. She knew, I whispered. She knew he'd come for her. She was protecting you, even then. He took the USB drive. This ends it, Elena. With this, I can call a tribunal. Johnny will face justice from every family head. When? Soon. He pulled me into his arms, and you'll be there when he falls. We flew back as the sun set, painting the sky in fire. I felt my mother's presence, like a hand on my shoulder, like approval. Thank you, I whispered to the wind, for leading me here, for giving me the truth. Raphael's hand found mine. She'd be proud of you. I hope so. That night, in his bed, he made love to me slow and reverent, like I was something sacred. I love you, he said against my skin. I froze. He'd never said it before. He pulled back, meeting my eyes. I love you, Elena. I didn't plan to, didn't want to, but you've worked your way into every part of me. I love you too. The words came easily, truthfully. Even though you're infuriating and dangerous and... He kissed me silent. And yours. And mine. We fell asleep wrapped together, the USB drive on his nightstand. Justice was coming, and I would be there to watch it burn. The tribunal was called for 3 days later. Every major family head would attend. Neutral ground, an old monastery outside Rome. Ancient stone, heavy with history and blood. You don't have to come, Raphael said as I dressed. Yes, I do. I fastened the Corsini crest necklace. This is for my mother. He nodded, understanding. The drive was tense. Marco and 6 other guards accompanied us, everyone armed, everyone alert. What happens at a tribunal? I asked. Evidence is presented. The accused defends himself. The family heads vote. If guilty, sentence is carried out immediately. Raphael's jaw tightened. It's swift, final. Good. At the monastery, dozens of cars already filled the courtyard. Men in expensive suits, weapons barely concealed. The air thrummed with violence held in check. Inside, a great hall had been set up. Long table at the front for the 5 family heads who would judge. Chairs for witnesses and observers. Gianni was already there, flanked by his own men. When he saw me, his smile was poison. Little Elena, he called out, come to watch your boyfriend fail. Raphael's hand tightened on my waist. Ignore him. We took our seats. The family heads entered, old men mostly, with eyes that had seen too much death. Don Salvatore Ricci, eldest and most respected, called the tribunal to order. Raffaele Corsini has brought charges of embezzlement and murder against Gianni Lombardi. Present your evidence. Raphael stood, confident, powerful. He connected the USB drive to a projector. Bank records filled the screen. Transfers from Corsini accounts to offshore holdings in Gianni's name. $5 million over 2 years. The room erupted in murmurs. These records were compiled by Lucia Moretti Corsini, Raffaele continued, before she was murdered by the accused to hide his crimes. Gianni shot to his feet. Lies! This is fabricated! The bank records are verified. We have signatures, dates, everything. Raffaele's voice was ice. You stole from my father, and when Lucia discovered it, you had her killed. Prove it. I don't have to prove the murder. The theft is enough, but... Raphael pulled out another document. I have a witness. Someone who helped you set up the accounts. A man entered from a side door, middle-aged, nervous, one of Gianni's own accountants. Tell them, Raphael commanded. The accountant's voice shook. Gianni approached me in 2013, said he needed to move money quietly. I helped set up the offshore accounts. He paid me $50,000 to keep quiet. You're lying, Gianni roared. I'll kill you. Silence! Don Salvatore slammed his cane. Threatening a witness confirms guilt, Lombardi. The other family heads nodded grimly. Gianni's face went white. He looked around the room, seeking allies. Found none. The evidence is overwhelming, Don Salvatore said. The tribunal finds Gianni Lombardi guilty of theft and conspiracy to murder. The sentence is death. Immediate. No! Gianni pulled a gun. Everything exploded. His men drew weapons. Raphael's guards responded. I dove behind a pew as gunfire erupted. Raphael covered me with his body. Stay down! Chaos. Screaming. The smell of gunpowder. Then Gianni's voice close. You want justice, little girl? Come get it. I looked up. He had broken through, gun aimed at Raphael's back. No. I grabbed Raphael's backup piece from his ankle holster. Stood. Aimed. Gianni. He turned, shocked to see me holding a weapon. This is for my mother. I pulled the trigger. The shot hit him in the chest. He stumbled back, blood blooming across his white shirt. Raphael spun, grabbed me, checked for injuries. Are you hurt? No, but he is. Gianni collapsed, gasping. Raphael walked over, stood above him. Any last words? Gianni coughed blood. You think you've won, but there's more coming. What does that mean? He smiled, teeth red. The Corsini secrets aren't done. Your father betrayed more than you know. Then he died. Silence fell. The family heads emerged from cover. Don Salvatore looked at me, then at Raffaele. She has Corsini blood. She had the right. Raffaele pulled me close. It's over. But Gianni's last words echoed. Your father betrayed more than you know. What did that mean? Back at the mansion, I couldn't shake the unease. What did he mean? I asked Raphael as we cleaned up. What other betrayals? I don't know, but we'll find out. He bandaged a graze on my arm where debris had hit. You did well today. I'm proud of you. I killed a man. You delivered justice. He kissed my forehead. There's a difference. That night, I dreamed of my mother. She smiled, relieved, free. But behind her, shadows moved, secrets waiting to surface. I woke gasping. Raphael held me. Nightmare? Premonition, maybe. We're safe, Elena. Gianni is dead. His family is scattered. But what if he was right? What if there's more? Then we'll handle it, together. I wanted to believe him, but something felt unfinished. The next morning, Marco came to breakfast, face grim. Boss, we found something in Gianni's office. You need to see this. We followed him to Raffaele's study. He laid out photographs. My father, meeting with Gianni, recent photos, dated within the last month. My blood went cold. No, I whispered. Raphael's face was stone. Your father's been playing both sides. That's impossible. You paid his debt. He's been working with Gianni even after that. Look. More photos. Vincenzo handing over documents. He's been feeding Gianni information about my operations. Why would he do that? Because some men can't stop betraying. Raphael's voice was deadly quiet. And because he knew I'd protect you regardless. Rage and heartbreak warred in my chest. What do we do? We bring him in, find out what he gave Gianni, what damage has been done. And then? Raffaele looked at me, and I saw the conflict in his eyes. He loved me, but Vincenzo had betrayed the family. Then we decide. Would you forgive a parent who betrayed you for survival? Or is blood not enough? Tell me below. They brought Vincenzo in that night. Not gently. He was bruised, bleeding from a split lip. Marco had him dragged to Raffaele's office and thrown into a chair. I stood in the corner, arms crossed. Silent. Vincenzo's eyes found mine. Elena? Don't. My voice was ice. Don't say my name. Raphael sat on the edge of his desk, deceptively casual. You've been busy, Vincenzo. I can explain. You met with Gianni 15 times in the last 2 months. You gave him copies of my shipping schedules, names of my contacts in the police, details about my security protocols. Raphael's voice was eerily calm. Explain that. Vincenzo's shoulders sagged. He threatened me. Said if I didn't help him, he'd what? He was already planning to kill you. We both know that. Raphael stood, circling. No, you did this because you're a coward, because you always take the easy way. I was trying to survive. By selling out the man protecting your daughter? I stepped forward, fury burning. By betraying the family that took me in when you threw me away? I never threw you away. I sent you here to save you. You sent me here to clear your debt. Don't act like it was noble. Tears burned, but I refused to let them fall. Did you even love Mom, or was she just another tool? Vincenzo flinched. I loved your mother more than life itself. Then why didn't you protect her? Why didn't you save her? My voice broke. Why did you let Gianni kill her and then work with him? Because I'm weak. He shouted it, face crumpling. Because I'm everything you think I am, a coward, a failure, a traitor. But I did it all to keep you alive. I don't believe you. It's true. He looked at Raffaele. Gianni said if I helped him take you down, he'd let Elena live. He'd let her go. I thought if I could weaken you enough, he'd honor that deal. Raphael laughed darkly. Gianni never honored a deal in his life. He would have killed her the moment he had the chance. I know that now. Vincenzo's voice was hollow. I was a fool. Yes, you were. Raphael pulled out a gun, set it on the desk between them. The penalty for betraying the family is death. You know this. I do. But Elena is your daughter, and she's mine now, so I'm giving you a choice. Raphael's eyes were cold. Die quickly, by my hand, or disappear. New identity, new life, but you never contact Elena again. Ever. My father looked at me. What do you want? I'd imagined this moment, fantasized about revenge, about watching him suffer, but looking at this broken man, I felt only pity. I want you gone, I said quietly. Out of my life, out of this world. I want to pretend you never existed. He nodded slowly. That's what I deserve. Marco, Raphael called. Arrange transport. He leaves tonight. New passport. 10,000 euros. That's all he gets. Yes, boss. They hauled Vincenzo to his feet. At the door, he turned back one last time. Elena, I'm sorry. For everything. I said nothing, just watched as they took him away. The door closed. I collapsed. Raphael caught me, pulling me into his arms. It's okay. It's over. He was all I had left of her. I sobbed into his chest. And he was a lie. Everything was a lie. No, not everything. He tilted my face up. Your mother's love was real. My love is real. This, he pressed my hand over his heart, is real. How do you know? Because I'd burn the world for you. Because you're the only thing that makes sense in all this chaos. He kissed me softly. Because I choose you. Every time. Over power. Over loyalty. Over everything. I choose you too. Then that's enough. That's all we need. That night, he showed me something he'd never shared. A room in the basement. Small, simple, filled with photographs. My mother, he explained, pointing to a woman with kind eyes. She died when I was 10. Cancer. I'm sorry. She was the only person who ever saw me as more than a weapon. He showed me another photo. Young Raphael, smiling. She used to say I had a good heart, just wrapped in necessary armor. She was right. He turned to me. I haven't brought anyone here, not in 20 years, but I wanted you to see where I come from, why I am the way I am. I studied the photos, his mother and father. His younger sister died at 6, he said, drowned, childhood friends, most dead now, a dog he'd loved, all the soft parts of him preserved in this room. Thank you for showing me, I whispered. You're the only one who gets to see this side, the real me. I love the real you. He made love to me right there, among his memories, slow and achingly tender, like we were the only two people left in the world. Afterward, wrapped in his arms on the floor, I finally felt it. Peace. Marry me, he said suddenly. I pulled back to look at him. What? Marry me. Make this permanent. Be my wife, my partner, my everything. Raphael? I know it's fast. I know we've been through hell, but I don't want to waste time pretending I don't know what I want. His hand cupped my face. I want you. Forever. Say yes. Yes. I laughed through tears. Yes, you insane, beautiful man. Yes. He kissed me like he was sealing a vow, and maybe he was. I'll have a ring made. Something worthy of you. I don't need a ring. I just need you. You'll have both. We stayed there until dawn, making plans, talking about a future that didn't involve blood and betrayal, a home, maybe, someday, children. It felt impossible. Too good to be true. But with him, I was learning to believe in impossible things. The next week was preparation. Raphael had his lawyers draw up marriage contracts, had designers bring wedding dresses to the house, planned a ceremony, small, intimate, just family, and his closest allies. I chose a simple dress, white silk, elegant but not ostentatious. You'll be the most beautiful bride, Sophia said, helping me with alterations. I'll be the happiest bride. The night before the wedding, Raphael and I sat in his study, going over last details. After tomorrow, you're officially a Corsini, he said. No going back. I've been a Corsini since birth. Tomorrow just makes it legal. He smiled, pulled me into his lap. Have I told you today that I love you? Only 3 times. Not enough. He kissed my neck. I love you. I love you. I love... His phone rang. He groaned. I need to take this. It's Don Salvatore. Go ahead, he answered, switching to Italian. His face went serious, then dark. What? I asked when he hung up. There's a problem. The Zanetti family is contesting Gianni's death. They say it wasn't properly sanctioned since you pulled the trigger, not me. But the tribunal ruled. They're calling for another tribunal to determine if you had the right to execute family justice. My stomach dropped. What happens if they rule against me? His silence was answer enough. They'll want me dead, I whispered, over my dead body. He stood, pacing. I'll call in favors, get the vote swung. But Elena, this could get dangerous. More dangerous than everything else we've been through? Yes, because this time, You're the target. Then we fight." He looked at me, and I saw fear. Real, raw fear. "I won't lose you," he said fiercely. "Not when I just got you." "You won't. We'll face this together, like everything else." He pulled me close, and I felt him shaking. The great Raffaele Corsini, terrified. Not of death, of losing me. "Whatever happens tomorrow," he murmured, "know that you're the best thing that ever happened to me." Same. Always. We held each other as night deepened, knowing that tomorrow could change everything, but we'd face it together. And that was enough. The second tribunal was called for the day of our wedding. Deliberate. A power play. "They want you afraid," Raphael said as we dressed that morning. "Want you to break." "I won't break." I fastened the Corsini crest around my neck. "I didn't come this far to crumble now." He kissed me, fierce and desperate. "You're the strongest person I know. I learned from the best." We drove to the monastery again, but this time I wore my wedding dress beneath a coat. Raphael wore his tuxedo. "If we survive this," he said, "we get married immediately after. Right here." "When we survive this," I corrected. Marco met us at the entrance, face grim. "Bad news. The Zanetti family brought allies, Calderone, Messina, even some Lombardy loyalists. They're pushing hard for a guilty verdict." "How many votes do we have?" Raphael asked. 3, maybe 4. We need 5 to acquit." The odds were against us. Inside, the hall was packed. More people than last time. The air crackled with tension. The 5 family heads sat in judgment again. Don Salvatore looked older, tired. "This tribunal will determine whether Elena Corsini acted within her rights when executing Gianni Lombardi," he announced. "The Zanetti family claims she had no authority, that only a direct family member of the victim could enact justice." A man stood. Lorenzo Zanetti. Cold eyes, cruel mouth. "Elena Rosi is not blood Corsini. Her mother renounced the name when she married. The girl has no claim to family privilege." "That's a lie." Raphael stood. "Lucia Corsini never formally renounced her blood. She left, yes, but the tie remained. Elena is Corsini by birth. Prove it." Raffaele produced documents, birth certificates, family trees, DNA tests he'd ordered weeks ago. "The blood doesn't lie. She's my family, which means she had every right to avenge her mother's murder." "Even if we accept the blood claim," another family head said, Don Calderone, "the girl is young, untested. She killed in anger, not justice." "I killed him because he deserved to die," I said, standing. Every eye turned to me. "He stole from the Corsini family. He murdered my mother to hide his crimes. He threatened my life. By every law we live by, he earned that bullet." Bold words from a girl playing at being Mafia. Zanetti sneered. "I'm not playing." I walked forward, shedding my coat. The wedding dress gleamed white in the dim light. "I was born into this world. My blood is Corsini. My mother died for Corsini secrets. I pulled that trigger knowing exactly what it meant." "And what did it mean?" Don Salvatore asked quietly. "That I'm willing to kill for my family, that I'm willing to die for it too." I met his eyes. "That I belong here, whether you want me or not." Silence. Then Don Salvatore smiled. "Well said." Zanetti shot to his feet. "This is absurd. She's a child." "She's a Corsini," Don Salvatore cut him off, "and she showed more courage in one moment than most men show in a lifetime." He looked at the other judges. "I vote to acquit." "Seconded," said Don Ricci. 1 by 1, they voted. 4-1 in my favor. Only Calderone voted against. "The tribunal finds Elena Corsini acted within her rights. Don Salvatore declared. "The matter is closed." Zanetti's face went purple with rage. "You'll regret this. Are you threatening this tribunal?" Raffaele's voice was deadly soft. Zanetti looked around, saw no support, swallowed his fury. "No, just disappointed in the judgment." "Noted. Now get out." They left, but the threat lingered in the air. "Well done," Don Salvatore said to me. "You've got fire, girl. Your mother would be proud." "Thank you." He turned to Raffaele. "I hear congratulations are in order. A wedding?" "Right now, if you'll officiate." The old Don laughed. "It would be my honor." They cleared the hall, brought in flowers, white roses, my favorite. Candles were lit. Marco and Sofia stood as witnesses. I faced Raffaele in front of Don Salvatore, wearing my wedding dress and his family crest. Both of us had faced death that morning. Now we were choosing life. "We don't do traditional vows in our world," Don Salvatore said. "We do blood oaths. Are you prepared?" We nodded. He produced a knife. Raphael held out his palm. The Don made a small cut. Blood welled up, then my palm. The sting was sharp but brief. Raphael and I clasped hands, mixing our blood. "Speak your vow," Don Salvatore instructed. Raffaele's eyes locked on mine. "I vow to protect you with my life, to honor you above all others, to share my power, my wealth, my darkness. You are mine, and I am yours, until death and beyond." My voice shook but held strong. "I vow to stand beside you in blood and in peace, to fight for our family, to love you through the darkness. You are mine, and I am yours, until death and beyond. Then, by the old laws and the old blood, I pronounce you husband and wife, sealed in blood, bound forever." Raphael kissed me, deep and claiming and full of promise. When we pulled apart, I was crying, happy tears for once. "Mrs. Corsini," he murmured. "Mr. Corsini." We wrapped our hands in white silk, the blood oath binding. Marco opened champagne. Sophia hugged me tight. "You did it," she whispered. "You survived." "We did it." That night, Raphael carried me over the threshold of his bedroom, our bedroom now. "How does it feel?" he asked, "being my wife?" "Like coming home." He laid me on the bed gently, unwrapped the silk from our hands. The cuts had already started to heal. "I love you," he said simply. "I love you more." Impossible. He made love to me as my husband, slow and reverent and absolutely devastating. Every touch worshipped. Every kiss sealed our vows deeper. After, in the darkness, he held me close. "What happens now?" I asked. "Now we build something different, a family that isn't just about blood and violence. Something better." "You think we can do that? With you? I think I can do anything." I fell asleep in his arms, finally, completely safe. 6 months later, I stood in Raphael's office, our office now, reviewing contracts. He'd made me a full partner. Legal businesses, illegal businesses. I handled both. Turned out, I was good at this. Strategic, smart, ruthless when I needed to be. The families respected me. Even Zanetti had backed off, grudgingly accepting my place. Marco entered. "Boss, Mrs. Corsini, we have news." "What news?" Raphael asked. "Calderone family is moving against Zanetti. Something about territory disputes. They're asking for our support." Raphael looked at me. "What do you think?" "I think Zanetti tried to have me killed 6 months ago. Let Calderone have him." "Harsh. Practical." He grinned. "I've created a monster." "You've created your equal." Marco coughed. "So that's a no on supporting Zanetti?" "That's a hell no," I said. "Send Calderone our blessing and a gift. 10,000 in ammunition." "Yes, ma'am." After Marco left, Raphael pulled me into his lap. "You're terrifying when you're cold." I learned from you. I'm so proud. I kissed him. Want to hear something scary? Always. I think I'm pregnant. He froze. What? I took 3 tests this morning, all positive. His face cycled through shock, fear, then pure joy. You're sure? Pretty sure? He stood, lifting me with him, spun me around. We're having a baby. We're having a baby. He set me down, hands immediately going to my still flat stomach. A little Corsini. God help us all. God help the world, I corrected. He laughed, kissed me, then sobered. This changes things. We need more security, better protection. I won't risk. Raphael. I put my hand over his. I'm not made of glass. I can handle this. I know, but I'm going to worry anyway. It's what husbands do. Then worry, but don't smother. Deal? Deal. That night, we celebrated. Just the 2 of us. Wine for him, sparkling water for me. We talked about names, about the future, about the insanity of bringing a child into our world. They'll be strong, Raphael said, like their mother, and dangerous like their father. The perfect combination. We're going to be terrible parents. We're going to be amazing parents. I wanted to believe him, and maybe, just maybe, I did. 3 years later, Marco, I called. Have you seen Lucia? Last I saw, she was in the garden with Boss. I found them there, Raphael on his knees in the dirt, our daughter on his shoulders. She was 2, dark-haired and fearless. Mama! She reached for me. I took her, hugging her close. What are you 2 troublemakers doing? Teaching her about flowers, Raphael said, brushing dirt off his hands, and security protocols. She's 2. Never too early. Lucia grabbed my face with her tiny hands. Love you, Mama. My heart melted. Every single time. Love you too, baby. Raphael stood, wrapped his arms around both of us, his empire, his world. Happy? He asked, deliriously. Good, because I have a surprise. He handed me an envelope. Inside was a deed. The house in Amalfi. I bought it, restored your mother's studio. Thought you might want a place to escape sometimes. Tears burned. Raphael. I know you miss her. Thought having her space back might help. I kissed him hard. I love you so much it hurts. Good. I'd hate to suffer alone. Lucia squirmed. Down. We set her down, watched her toddle toward the roses. Think we'll ever have a normal life? I asked. No. Good. Normal sounds boring. Elena Corsini, my beautiful, deadly wife, you're the best mistake I ever made. I'm not a mistake. You're right. You're fate. He kissed me there, in the garden, with our daughter playing nearby and guards stationed at every corner. It was violent and beautiful and completely ours. This life, this love, this family. We'd built it from blood and ash, and I wouldn't change a single thing. That's our story. The mafia boss who coldly said, I don't want her, became the man who vowed to love me until death and beyond. We survived betrayal, bloodshed, and the darkness that comes with this life. But we survived together, and that made all the difference. Until next time, stay dangerous, stay in love, and remember, sometimes the monsters make the best lovers.
Thank you so much for watching. If this story touched your heart, please don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications. Your support helps me bring you even more emotional, heartwarming stories filled with love, tension, and unforgettable moments. Stay tuned. More beautiful stories are on the way.